gatanu n'igice kimwe FM.
Gusesagura n'ubupfapfa. Zirikana ko iyo mbimenya ari ijambo ribi maze ukoreshe neza imari yawe. Radio Imanzi 105 n'igice kimwe FM.
We got you updated. This is Radio Imanzi News in English.
You are tuned to Radio Imanzi, broadcasting from Kigali. Here is the news in English, brought to you by Fiona Umuganwa and Alvine Umngadi. The headlines. The Chief Justice of Rwanda today officiated the opening of the 19th East African Magistrates and Judges Association General Meeting. The Capital Market Authority in Rwanda has warned the general public against working with unlicensed entities, individuals who are carrying on or permitting to carry on offering, promotion or selling of capital market services or products, including online forex trading. South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa has denied wrongdoing in testimony to a parliamentary panel examining whether he should face impeachment over an alleged cover-up of a heist at his farmhouse, according to his office. Welcome back. News in detail. The Chief Justice of Rwanda, Honorable Faustin Nteziryayo, today officiated the opening of the 19th East African Magistrates and Judges Association General Meeting, which is held under the theme East African Community Courts Efficiency in adjudicating emerging cross-border issues, challenges and strength. The conference brought together judges, court clerks and other court officials from East African countries with the aim of discussing issues involving cross-border crimes, illegal immigration, slavery, conflicts based on natural resources, contractual disputes between business entities, debt settlement issues and regional integration issues. Dr. Nteziryayo emphasized that in this annual meeting, the obligation is to align national laws, rules and procedures, especially to facilitate the effective functioning of the common market and the monetary union. Therefore, he added that throughout this three-day conference, they will share experience and knowledge on the rationale behind harmonizing judicial remedies on cross-border issues such as commercial-related concerns and human rights issues. The conference will analyze the intended actualization of fair competition and consumer protection standards and the impediments at play. Current issues and challenges in the harmonization of East African community tax systems, such as insolvency of multinational companies and liabilities of corporate governance, are vital topics for judicial debate. Moreover, Chief Justice Nezi Jayo said they will air views on the current trends of electronic payments, Bitcoin transactions, and judicial handling of financial disputes that hamper businesses, independence in corporate governance, and protection of the rights of minority shareholders. Alvin Ngadi continues with another story.
The Democratic Republic of Congo fighter jet violated Rwandan airspace today around 11:20 a.m. A Sukhoi -25 fighter jet from the DRC briefly touched down at Rubavu Airport in Western Province. According to a communique from the Office of the Government spokesperson, no military action was taken by Rwanda in response, and the jet returned to the Democratic Republic of Congo. Bilateral ties between Rwanda and DRC continue to deteriorate despite established frameworks by the region and beyond to mend the ties. Just recently, foreign affairs ministers of DR Congo, Angola, and Rwanda agreed to accelerate efforts toward implementing the roadmap on the pacification process in the eastern region of the DR Congo, and was agreed by the presidents of Angola, Democratic Republic of Congo, and Rwanda in July. Kinshasa government also recently expelled Rwanda's ambassador, Vincent Karega, a decision Kigali described as not only regrettable but also increased efforts to cover up and distract their own governance and security failures. However, Rwanda has precisely reiterated its accusation towards DRC of embedding the genocidal outfit FDLR into the national army and shelling of her territory. FDLR is made of remnants of the forces that committed the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda, which claimed more than 1 million lives. Meanwhile, DR Congo has also in response accused Rwanda of supporting M23, an accusation that the government has categorically denied.
The Inspector General of Police, Dan Munyuza, challenged police officers who were deployed to the UN mission in South Sudan today to stick to what they were trained to do to guarantee security of those under their protection. Inspector General Munyuza made the call while briefing 160 officers of formed Police Unit 3 at the Police Training School Gishadi in Gwamagana District. He told the officers to sustain the professional image of Rwandan peacekeepers and to stand firm amidst mission challenges. He told them that they were trained for this mission and have proved they are ready for the challenge. He asked them to serve with passion, love what they do, and do it professionally. He pointed out that they are going as ambassadors of Rwanda and they should not taint that image. He said their successful tour of duty will be defined by their discipline, resilience, respect and politeness, teamwork and upholding Rwandan values. Alvin Ngadi continues with another story.
A Rwandan woman has been named among 19 people who died in a Tanzanian plane crash. 29-year-old Hanifa Hamza, born to a Rwandan mother and a Tanzanian father, was on board the ill-fated Precision Air Flight PW494, which plunged into Lake Victoria. The plane, which was flying from Tanzania's main commercial city of Dar es Salaam en route to Mwanza through Bukoba in Tanzania, had 39 passengers and 4 crew members. At least 19 lives were claimed during the incident, said to have been caused by bad weather, where dozens of passengers aboard plunged into Lake Victoria about 100 meters from the airport. President Paul Kagame earlier this morning expressed his condolences to his Tanzanian counterpart Suluhu Samia and people of Tanzania over the fatal crash. Using his Twitter handle, he said, "My sincere condolences to the people of Tanzania and to President Suluhu Samia for the loss of lives following the plane accident. Our thoughts are with the families and loved ones of all the victims." Empathy messages continue to pour in for Tanzania, including the President herself and the African Union Commission Chair Musa Faki Mohammed, among others.
The Rwanda national carrier Rwanda Air has put in place a preferential freight tariff for Rwanda exporters under the African Continental Free Trade Area. The promotional offer, where Rwanda exporters will pay $1.4 per kilogram, is aimed to motivate the business community to leverage African Continental Free Trade Area, one of the 13 flagship projects of Agenda 2063 in Africa. The ambitious trade pact is said to form the world's largest free trade area by creating a single market for goods and services of almost 1.3 billion people across Africa and deepening the economic integration of Africa. The trade area could have a combined gross domestic product of around $3.4 trillion, but achieving its full potential depends on significant policy reforms and trade facilitation measures across African signatory nations. The African Continental Free Trade Area aims to reduce tariffs among members and covers policy areas such as trade, facilitation and services, as well as regulatory measures such as sanitary standards and technical barriers to trade. The agreement was brokered by the African Union and was signed by 44 of its 55 member states in Kigali, Rwanda on March 21, 2018. Luckily, Rwanda is among the countries selected to participate in the pilot phase of the African Continental Free Trade Area Initiative on Guided Trade. Alvin Ungadi has the next story.
Rwanda officially launched direct flights between Kigali and London, dropping the route stopover in Brussels. The carrier will offer 4 weekly flights on board its Airbus A330 fleet. Presently, the airline operates 3 weekly flights between Kigali and London, involving a brief stopover in Brussels. Announcing the launch of direct flight, Rwanda's CEO Yvonne Makolo said the UK is an incredibly important market for Rwanda, and the customers will value the shorter flight times and increased connections that will be offered by the new service. The airline's timing are ideal for passengers looking to connect to Rwanda's extensive network, which includes 28 destinations across Africa, the Middle East, Europe, and Asia. Back to you.
The Rwanda Capital Market Authority has warned the general public against working with unlicensed entities, individuals who are carrying on or purporting to carry on offering, promotion or selling of capital market services or products, including online forex trading. The Capital Market Authority released a statement indicating that a recent assessment detected some unlicensed entities purporting to offer its services and urged the general public to be cautious. The statement read that these businesses claim to be duly licensed in Rwanda and often promote investment opportunities through social media. Capital Market Authority informed investors that it has not yet licensed any entity to provide online forex trading brokerage services in Rwanda, and any dealings in this type of investment remain at the investor's own risk. The Capital Market Authority is the only regulatory public institution established by law with a responsibility, among others, to protect investors in the capital market by promoting and ensuring an orderly, fair, transparent and efficient capital market in Rwanda. Among the tools used to achieve its mandate, the Capital Market Authority authorizes through licensing businesses intending to offer, promote or sell capital market services or products to investors. The Capital Market Authority has urged investors to always ascertain whether the engaging firms are licensed to operate capital market businesses in Rwanda before accepting to deal in their proposed investment products or services. The authority further reminded individuals or entities conducting capital market business without a license that they will be punished as per provisions of the law regulating capital market in Rwanda. We shall come back with economic news. Economic news is a regular feature on Radio Imanzi.
The Rwanda Stock Exchange market report today. The trading session remained quiet as the transactions were recorded on both the equities and fixed income markets. Equities counters closed with Brarilgwa at 170 Rwandan francs, Bank of Kigali at 272 Rwandan francs, I&M Rwanda at 43 Rwandan francs, Simergwa at 120 Rwandan francs, MTN Rwanda at 174 Rwandan francs, Equity at 440 Rwandan francs, Kenya Commercial Bank at 370 Rwandan francs, National Media Group at 1,200 Rwandan francs, Uchumi Supermarket Limited at 104 Rwandan francs, and R&H Buffalo at 526 Rwandan francs.
The currency market review of today. Burundian franc buying price is 0.5 Rwandan francs and the selling price is 0.51. Ugandan shilling buying price was 0.27 and the selling price was 0.28. Tanzanian shilling buying price was 0.44 and the selling price was 0.45. The Kenyan shilling buying price was 8.5 and the selling price was 8.7. The euro buying price 1,035 and the selling price 1,055. The British pound buying price 1,180 and the selling price is 1,203. The US dollar buying price 1,040 Rwandan francs and the selling price was 1,061 Rwandan francs. We shall come back with international items.
Some items of international news on Radio Imanzi.
Talks between the senior commanders of the Ethiopian National Defense Forces and the rebel group Tigray People's Liberation Front kicked off in Nairobi today to draw up a plan for the disarmament of the fighters and subsequent rehabilitation. This follows the agreement signed last week in the South African capital Pretoria after 10 days of negotiations between the leaders of the Ethiopian government and Tigray. They agreed to organize a meeting within 5 days for the senior commanders to discuss and work out the modalities on its implementation, including disarmament issues. South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa has denied wrongdoing in testimony to a parliamentary panel examining whether he should face impeachment over an alleged cover-up of a heist at his farmhouse, according to his office. In written answers provided to the independent panel, Ramaphosa categorically denies that he violated this oath in any way and denies that he is guilty of any of the allegations made against him. The scandal erupted in June after South Africa's former national spy boss filed a complaint with police alleging that robbers broke into Fala Fala, the president's farm in the northeast of the country, and stole $4 million in cash stashed in furniture. The complaint alleged that Ramaphosa hid the robbery from the authorities and instead organized for the robbers to be kidnapped and bribed into silence. Alvin Ungadi continues with another story.
Chad's General Mohammed Idris Deby Itno appointed by decree 104 more members of his parliament as he leads Chad's 2-year transitional government after taking power on the death of his father. In early October, a National Reconciliation Dialogue, DNIS, which gave him an additional 24 months as transitional president, recommended increase the number of deputies in the National Transition Council, which has acted as the parliament since Mr. Deby was first proclaimed head of state on April 20th, 2021, at the head of junta of 15 general from 93 to 197. The enlargement of the National Transition Council aims to integrate personalities from parties, civil society organizations, and rebel movements that joined the National Dialogue, which was boycotted by a large part of the opposition and some of the powerful armed groups. Guests and actor walked the red carpet of the historic Africa premiere of Marvel Studio Black Panther in Nigeria. In anticipation of its release this coming week, Disney Marvel's Black Panther, also known as Wakanda Forever, continued its promotional tour with a historic premiere in Lagos, Nigeria. This was a major event and the first time a Marvel movie has held premiere locally with a large group of talent, filmmakers and press on hand for the black carpet rollout. In attendance were director Ryan Coogler and stars Letitia Wright, Lupita Nyong'o, Winston Duke, and Michaela Cole. Producer Nate Moore was also on hand, along with soundtrack artists and producers. The team has been making the rounds, including a world premiere in Los Angeles, US, and the European debut at Signword Leicester Square in London last week. The Nigeria premiere was held in association with the Africa International Film Festival and Film One Entertainment, where they celebrated the movie's African heritage. The first Black Panther remains the #1 film in both East and West Africa. Wakanda Forever opens in Nigeria on Saturday, November 11th, in step with the US international release begins on November 9th in France, among others, with global rollout continuing through the weekend.
With us, we come to the end of tonight's edition.